Hi, this is Rutika Malaviya, and welcome to our channel Licensing Corner, India's only news channel that talks about brand licensing, brand extensions in detail, and you know how to get that next deal right. Today, I have with me is Simone and Pooneh of Tokidoki brand, and let's move on directly to Simone, and let's just talk about how he is as a person and how he helped the Tokidoki came into his mind and what was the whole process like?
So hello everybody. So the story of Tokidoki, it's about I call it still now as my personal artistic diary. I started to put together my ideas after my design school. I was studying advertisement and graphic design, and I created my own website using the word Tokidoki. I'm a huge fan of Japanese culture, so that's why I even ended up moving here. I'm calling from Japan right now. And the word Tokidoki means sometimes, because I believe that sometimes dreams come true. And the website where I started to put my first artworks would have been like the message in the bottle in the ocean of the web, and people would see it and would lead me to design my destiny. And so I created this website, and actually after like few projects in web design, advertisement, and some licensing, I ended up meeting Pooneh from Los Angeles. She had a company with another business partner, and they contacted me. And at first it was a bit I was 25 at the time, and like the idea of like moving from Rome. I'm Italian, so from Rome, at the time actually I was living in Milan, and to share Tokidoki and transform it into a company, an LLC in another country, was a little bit challenging and probably scary. And but at the end, like, I met Pooneh, and immediately we clicked. We had the same vision, and I loved the idea that she could imagine from my art to be everything, and this is what I believe. Now we started to talk. Oh, imagine one day to do caps and toys and this and a store, and maybe one day we'll have a theme park. And we started
we will
yogurts and really like wait. Yeah. So and then she was a serial entrepreneur. She had a very successful story with a cosmetic brand called Hard Candy Cosmetics, and she just sold it to Louis Vuitton and 12 VMH Group. And so she wanted to start another adventure. And we bumped into each other through the web, and here we are, 16, 17 years after.
I think we were meant to meet and be business partners, and it's really truly a blessing to work with Simone. He's such an incredible talent, and he brings so much joy to people through his creations and his art, his graphic artwork and his fine artwork. I just think everybody needs to be living in the Tokidoki world and enjoy it as much as I do. And it's an honor to help spread the joy and the love of Simone's creations. And I feel grateful that I'm part of his journey.
Simone, tell me, you started off Tokidoki. It was just a drawing initially, and then it took birth into a lifestyle brand in, I guess, 2005, if I'm not wrong.
It was like my artistic diary. It had this name, this logo, and at that time already like some tens or hundreds of characters. And I started to do my first T-shirts, my first stationaries or something like this. And my vision was this one. But when I met Pooneh, she had the experience, and she made me understand that it's possible to do it, because I believed it, she believed it, and says, okay, let's try together. And come from the licensing world, and you understand that business is such an evolving thing. So you always have to take a new path. You have to reinvent yourself, not just from a creative point of view, but even from a business point of view. And me and Pooneh, we are very creative and very brave in this. And when I think our strategy, 15 years ago in 2005, and our strategy right now, how it became different between licensing, TTR, different tiers of market, different tiers of marketing, and it's such a complete different world.
So why the name Tokidoki? How did it came into your mind? What inspired you for this?
Yeah, as I was saying, like I wanted to use a Japanese word because my artwork and my my love, especially at the time in my 20s, was studying Japanese, and everything. All my house was Japanese books, from everything from flower arrangements to manga to like fine art to ancient art, pop art. Cuisine, and at that time like internet was not really so developed that I was going always to the Japan Foundation, which is like the library, and basically like try to absorb as much of that culture. So my website, my nickname has to be Japanese, and then I choose the word sometimes because I like, first of all, the sound, the Tokidoki, it's cute. And then it means sometimes because I like because sometimes dreams come true. So I really hope that like through my website, the course of my destiny will change, and basically that Tokidoki is that sort of energy that we have every day, and I still have every day. It's about, oh, today it's another day. I hope that I open my email and comes some great news. Is that energy that keeps you going, saying like sometimes dreams come true. So maybe today is my day, or maybe today is the day that I meet the woman of my life. I mean, like, so.
Which you did.
Yeah, I did. But just to try to that was a bit the idea of
No, not me. I'm talking about his wife.
Pooneh, when you met Simone for the first time and when you saw the brand, what was your thought? And how did you decide, okay, this is the brand I want to collaborate with, and I want to join hands with Simone and take this further?
Well, it was a big decision. And our other co-founder, basically, we had a concept for another property, and we were scouting out design talent online to procure for helping us with some of the design, and literally stumbled upon Simone's website, which is our website now, but it was tokidoki.it. And he had, he was at that time, that was 2003, he was one of the best Flash animators in the world. And there was this beautiful animation and these gorgeous Japanese women juxtaposed with these cute, adorable characters, and I'd never seen anything like it. And he had already developed some games that he had on that website as well, and I thought his talent was phenomenal. And so we basically started to stalk him and beg him to come and meet with us. And he finally agreed. And then I met him, and, I believed in his talent, and I just knew that we could take this, eventually this could be something that we could take all over the world and share with everybody. So that was really how it all happened. And he agreed to move here from Milan. And, I feel like I'm his older sister and somewhat responsible because I uprooted him.
Away from my mom.
I took him from his mom. So it's been a really interesting, exciting journey, and we just try to continue to grow the brand. I think licensing is an awesome way to be able to introduce Tokidoki into different parts of the world seamlessly with, kind of a regionalized aesthetic, and with people that understand the sensitivities of different cultures and whatnot. And I think there's something for everybody inside the Tokidoki world. And Simone is so extremely prolific that we're just getting warmed up. So this is pretty exciting. After all these years, it's 15 years, we're just getting warmed up.
Yeah, I think that one of the pluses that we had as a brand is that we have seen, like, through licensing shows and wholesale shows, so many character brands, and some succeeded and some are forever, like, Hello Kitty. But we've seen some that have, like, they spike for a second and then they disappear because it's such a mutating world. There is always new properties, new animations, new illustrators, new street artists, new visuals out there. And I think that Tokidoki went, being like this small independent company dealing and competing with like all the majors, it's because Tokidoki was always offering new. I was always designing new characters and always adapting to the projects or to the different tier of the market. And some designs were more edgy, some were more cute, and people like started to find within many characters like their own favorite one, or the one that maybe mirrors, or like see themselves into certain characters. And then it just keep on evolving. I keep on adding. So like I have like my bullet list, no bullet points, like, oh, by this you have to invent 10 new unicorns because we have to produce the toys. It's like our model is a hybrid business model. We do certain categories are manufactured and distributed through distributors, obviously, and then we sell online. And then there is another part of the business that help to extend the lifestyle nature of the brand. It's licensed. So, anyways, like I always have to create new, and I still get excited every day. Like even today before this call, I was like, doing new art, and I feel that more popular we become, more hard it becomes the game.
Territory, but there's never a dull moment. We're not bored, and we feel extremely challenged. So there's a lot of passion.
Yeah, and to stay as much into the licensing conversation is that I feel that the licensing is really getting much more creative, and the IP really, like, I see like the strangest thing, and sometimes even comes like very strange projects, like working with casinos for us, for example, was like doing slot machines or doing stamps. We've done stamps in Singapore for the post office. We've done stamps in Thailand. And comes all these categories that are really unexpected. Or even here in Japan, the other day I've seen like a collaboration between a famous robot Gundam with a sardine. Because the sardine box is metal, it's like there is like a robot collaborating with like canned food, So that's why I always like I get really very surprised about what type of categories or what type of collaborations. And for a designer, it's so much intriguing to be challenged on, all the ramifications of the licensing.
And
every country is different.
Yeah, every country is different, but I have to say it's very exciting to be part of the licensing community in India, as it's a fairly new industry that's growing, and so we are very excited to be part of that growth and all the opportunities and possibilities to bring a unique product to the audience, to the people in India. It's really an honor to be able to be part of that process as a company.
Right.
And India is such a huge territory with so many different regions within it, and it's such an iconic country. I think India is a bit like Japan, Thailand, China, US, that Italy. They have like such a strong iconography, and it's very colorful. It's like and then very technologically savvy, and I really believe that Tokidoki is this new generation IP that looks so much into even like the technological aspect, like doing the gaming part, that we are into it. And so like we always thought that India is going to be like a place where we really want to be, and then India was thanks being like so technological, even like very attentive, or is getting more and more attentive to the pop culture. So we have done already, if I'm not wrong, 3 Comic-Cons, and so we try like to bring Tokidoki over there, and the response has been pretty good so far, and we are very excited to see the fruits of such a adventure. Yeah.
Right.
Bring our little team to India and say, okay, let's start from zero. Yeah.
About more collaborations that you all started off with initially with Hello Kitty, and then you did it with Barbie, you did it with Marvel, then there were a lot of collaborations with even the lifestyle brands like Carl and a lot of other fashion.
The very first, I think, really significant collaboration that we did in our journey together was with Le Sportsac. And Le Sportsac is a global brand, and they have a global footprint. So practically overnight, that catapulted us and was really instrumental in exposing our brand and what we were doing in Simone's art and his creativity. Originally, we were only slated to do one season with them, and I think we ended up doing like 9 seasons and they're a handbag company, Le Sportsac. They're a pretty iconic American handbag company that is now Japanese owned. But it was great, and the response that we got, it was probably the best revenue generating collaboration. I know that it outperformed the collaboration with Lamb, which was Gwen Stefani's line back in the day, but it was pretty instrumental, and it kind of set the tone for us, because after that it was just organic. People were approaching us, smaller and larger companies, and like, for example, Hello Kitty. We've been collaborating with Hello Kitty for I think 12 years now, Simone.
I think we are already 13, 14. Almost.
13,
We
14
started 2006. We started.
Yeah. They've been a great partner, and we love working with them. Hence the painting that Simone did for their 35th anniversary of Hello Kitty. It's right behind me. And then the Karl Lagerfeld. Simone, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, about collaborations, the idea of doing collaboration, first, it's fun. Second is about that we consider Tokidoki not, let's say, a fashion brand. We are like a lifestyle brand and can be really applied on everything. And through the collaborations, we can touch like different segments of the, let's call it, of the market, of the society. And so let's say we wanted to do, Hello Kitty, we would have touched all this like kawaii loving people, that love all this cute stuff. Karl Lagerfeld, we were actually contacted by them during a trade show in Barcelona. They've seen the artwork, and they say, Simone, you want to design your style, Karl? And I was like, what? Now there is a lot of pop culture mixed up with fashion and artists mixed with fashion, but the idea in 2009, 11 years ago, in 2009, yeah, to redesign him and make him with a big head, as my style was a little bit scary. And, of course, I didn't have all the confidence that I might have now to take my creative and business responsibilities. But yeah, and then the other collaborations like Marvel, for us was to get in touch with all that the Comic-Con or comics type of crowd. Street Fighter, it's a Capcom. It's about like getting in contact with the gamers and share Tokidoki. And for me, it's fun, like just to one day do something very cool, like fighting with video game type of characters, and one day doing something very cute. And of course, everybody, I mean, especially guys, everybody would like to do a sneakers. There's something cool. It's like the bags, there are 2 items, sneakers and bags, I think, that are like the most cool items to design on. And we were contacted by Onitsuka Tiger, which is the, let's say, like the more fashion or casual line of Asics. And it's the #1 Japanese sportswear company. So for us, it was extremely important, first of all, because it's a huge company. Second, the design is very cool. And then third is that for us, it was a great proof that somehow the Japanese vein of my artwork is somehow legit, because you're working with the top Japanese company. So it's not that, some people like mix up like this sort of Asian elements a little bit without having the proper knowledge, right? Distribution and terms of collaborations as well. Like some countries we go, let's say, with promotions with big chains, like, drugstores. Just to mention, for example, Malaysia, we just launched with 414 stores with Guardian. We did Family Mart for the second consecutive year in China, which is other 3,000 something doors, and some other market we try to touch them like more like with a high-endish and less popular type of approach. So
in India, you're entered with Only, which is also one of the largest retail outlet. And so, how was that collaboration?
Only is like, this fashion popular that touches every segment of the Indian society. So it was really perfect. And because even like somehow in the most of the market, Tokidoki is positioned like an IP brand, but more like fashion forward, design forward, and starting with a fashion big box like Only, it was really ideal. And even because we are like a price friendly type of company, we don't sell our toys for thousands of dollars. We want to have like a accessible price, and I think that Only was the perfect combination of design, fashion, and affordable price, and a fast way to share Tokidoki with so many people, and it went very well. I've seen that so many local celebrities and the market, of course, responded well, and we have in program talking about the future to continue to work together. So it makes us happy because
and they really did such a great job with the product development. I mean, their design team
the marketing,
extremely talented.
Brilliant. The designs were brilliant. That pictures he sent it to me, and I was like, dude, I want one of those dresses and those cardigans. I'm loving it. I've never got so crazy about. So what happens is that times when a lot of brands try to get into brand extension, they miss out the design aesthetics parts of it, and it's more about the logo on the t-shirt or a dress that you wear. But when I saw yours, and I was like, you have to send it across to me anyhow. So
that's how I felt too.
Always, when you do a collaboration, you even have to. Another thing that I love to do collaboration is that I learn a lot. Like you have another team on the other side that are expert or more expert than me or than us on certain categories. So like I have to thank the only team to pick because you cannot say, oh, use this character, the tiger, let's say, because I like it. No, actually, I'm wearing it right now. But I let them pick what like they think it would work for that market, because as Tokidoki is really like, I never counted because I would need like probably a month, but we have thousands of characters at this point. So like they picked up the right one, they position it on the apparel in a very wearable
very clever
way, and so it's really even thanks to them. So.
Great. So how is Tokidoki tackling the pandemic? I mean, you all have come up with series of lot of masks of Tokidoki characters, and I've also seen you all are quite aggressive even on the digital platforms in terms of filters. I've also tried a couple of filters with donuts and all that. I mean, it's so fun. So how does that inspiration come across to you?
Yeah. I don't know. No, it's really, trust me, it's about to invent something new, and I watch things around, and I just try to find what they catch my attention, what I think they're like, they can be transformed into something or cool or cute or eye-catching. And I look the reality around, and I try to catch some elements, and I watch things between the lines, and I just walk and think. I think all the time, grow and design for yourself. One thing is about that you know that it's going to be seen by millions of people through like the distribution, through the social media and the things, and the fact that it has to even to perform commercially, and now have a responsibility, like of a full team. It's like a family, and so always have to come with I would say hundreds of ideas, and then I just select like the ones that I think are the very best, very original, and they can work, even succeed commercially.
Pooneh, my question to you is, this pandemic has hit us, everyone, very badly, and especially a lot of other scenarios in a lot of different countries. Like in US, you have Black Lives Matter. India, we have altogether different position where we are almost at a war with China and a lot of things like that. How are you seeing the global trends moving licensing industry in what direction, and how is Tokidoki getting up strategically working towards it?
Well, there's definitely been a little bit of a chilling effect on all industry, licensing, wholesale, retail. I think the one segment that is actually growing is the direct to consumer because of the pandemic. And that's true for us as well. So that's been helpful, but it's definitely been a very precarious time. And we've really tried to be very sensitive. We've always been an inclusive company. If you look at our artwork, and if you look at our team, and we look like the United Nations with a bunch of different ethnicities and backgrounds, and we're all about love and inclusivity. So we've been supportive of those movements, and like I said, there's been a chilling effect. I do see a little bit of an uptick, a little bit, like businesses are coming slowly back online. However, I am nervous and of course concerned about the future. So everything is just trying to take every day, one day at a time, and not get too overwhelmed so that you can function. I think it's been really difficult adjusting. A lot of people are adjusting to remote working, and that's a whole new way of working for people. So we've had to adjust to that, and I just hope for the best. And I think every day I'm grateful that it's another day, and I hope that everything will get better and people will just start loving each other instead of hating on each other. So that's all I can really pray for, and I hope that Tokidoki can help with that process.
Right. Okay. So what are your future projections when it comes to Tokidoki as a brand and extension in India?
We're actually looking at a multitude of line extending. Nothing's really off limits for us as a company. We love, we'll do anything from cosmetics to wine, to casinos, slot machines, video, virtual gaming. We're really dynamic in that sense. So we welcome multiple consumer categories to play with us, because basically it's just a vehicle to offer something fun and unique for the customer, and spread the Tokidoki word, and introduce the brand and the artwork to more people through that vehicle of licensing. So I don't think anything is necessarily off limits.
It comes to the brand positioning of a Tokidoki, how do you position yourself on a global chart in terms of lovability of the character, more licensee partners, the number of retail sales, all of that?
Like I think we are like a very innovative IP brand. We are quite different, as I do, we do like all these licensing shows, and I see like hundreds of IPs, and that are like very or children targeting toward children, or targeting toward entertainment or targeting the very, very mass market. And Tokidoki is more like I would say like a design forward and fashion forward character brand that takes a path that are quite different from those classic IPs I was talking about. Like, so we can do innovative design and fashion forward things. We can work with categories that are not touched, like, like gambling, like spirits, and so we are always, and then we are like a sort of, as I was saying at the beginning of this conversation, we are like an evolving IP company, and that's why we are different, and we consider like a sort of a middle high, if I had like to term, a type of position in the world of characters, like. But we believe that in this era, the important is to convey like good design and good brand, and you don't have to be scared to go too high or and too low. I think if you do a great project, you can do a fantastic yogurt packaging and still will be a fantastic design, and people will get it, and they will still buy your fashion expensive limited edition item that you can have it in a gallery or with a fashion collaboration. The important nowadays is doing great design, and this is my job and my passion. And and as you can see, what's happening now, you see like Gap working with major musicians, and fine artists like Murakami working on with mass market fast fashion retailers, and so this is, I think, where it's going. So where Tokidoki is going is like trying to put good design and good art in every tier of the market.
We strive to be in multiple tiers of distribution. When Simone does a signing, you'll see a family come with 3 generations in the family, and the mom and the dad, the son and the daughter. I mean, you'll have the whole family is vying for. There's something in the Tokidoki world that somebody wants, and it might be a vinyl collectible, or it might be a tennis shoe. It might Simone signed shoes before he's been asked to sign the shoes, or T-shirt, a plush, cosmetic packaging. It could be anything.
Exactly.
Really.
Even we never had like of course we have like our core naturally is like a young let's say like a 16 to 24 to 26 type of consumer, but Toyogi was always like a very inclusive kind of brand. And even like to go back to the question you asked to Pooneh a little bit before, like Toyogi was never like trying to be snobby or exclusive, and I'm so cool, our image was always about including everybody, whoever loves the art, whoever gets it, you're welcome. And so for us, it's not that we are trying to do anything strategic right now, like we always have been like this company.
Have to pick, each of you have to pick top 3 of 3 favorite characters of Tokidoki. What and which would it be? 3 favorite characters. I'm just giving it. I was thinking to have just one, but I'll give you 3 options because I know you have thousands of characters.
But 3 characters that I have. The Sandy is the first one that comes in mind. Is the cactus girl, because I think she represents a lot Tokidoki. She's cute and pure, but has the spikes they're protecting her from the bad things in the world, and the spikes give this sort of like edgy look, and like a sort of like edgy and strong image. Second is the unicorn, because it's becoming like, let's say, our Hello Kitty. It's the character that really print a million of pieces, and it's printed in million of various product through the licensing programs, and it's the magic lucky icon that we have. And then, and then the probably my favorite is the tiger, the salaryman. Tiger is my favorite animal, and everybody has a feminine, masculine side. I have a more masculine side, so I like very much that masculine part of Tokidoki, which is the tiger, and always have a passion for felines. I really like them very much. My ring is tiger, and that's probably. And it's funny. It's edgy. It's funny. This guy. Here I have the Bear Brick version on my desk. So this ones, yeah. And then I consider a bit, I have to add the fourth one because it's so iconic of Tokidoki is the Tokidoki girl, because that represents more like the beauty, artistic, mature, fashion-forward part of Tokidoki. Also, like the cute characters represent the sweet, positive, a very communicative part of Tokidoki, because I think characters are more expressive more expressive than human faces, no? Then and there is a cute part, then there is the edgy part, which is the tiger, more cartoon, funny, silly, and then there is the girl that is the more like a beauty, artistic beauty, and I use it in the paintings, and and just give you the idea when Pooneh was saying, oh, when I've seen Tokidoki, it was so unique with these girls mixed up with cute characters. The initial concept came that this bidimensional girls comes from, it was my idea of doing in a modern contemporary way, like the sort of bidimensional Japanese wood print silhouettes that were like in the traditional Japanese art, but doing with, this bidimensional vector art. Then I started to add tattoos and stuff because I come from over 10 years in a punk rock band in my high school 20s. And then there was the cute characters, which represents more like this pop, crazy, cartoony part of Japan. So I said, why these two words, this gentle, ancient, almost silhouettes cannot coexist with that sort of pop, crazy, expressive thing that's the cute, kawaii characters. And
I love all of the characters that you mentioned. I want to mention Donatella and her sweet friends. I really love her sweet friends. I love her too. She's so cute. It's funny.
She's one of my favorite as well.
She's so adorable.
Because you're so sweet, girls.
Yeah, I love all those characters in that character family. We just recently launched Donatella and her sweet friends, a series 3. So it's so cute.
But almost all the points. I want your 1-minute takeaway to a lot of designers in India, because like India, licensing in India is pretty new and it's not that known. So I want you to give Indian designers a way of light, or showing them that it's not necessary that you have to have an animation series to get successful in a licensing world. You can just be a designer and then also get successful, because that's a notion in India that only what is being seen on TV gets successfully acknowledged, or you have to convert your designers, your characters into an animation show, and only then probably you could get into a licensing deal. So you have been a great example for it, so please give your takeaway.
Well, in general, like one of the new things exists right now, basically like you don't need an animation you can become like a social media sensation and get and actually sometimes it's more important even than animation, because now like the traditional animation that goes on TV, if it's not on some major web platform, is no more that relevant. So social media, you can I've seen programs in the US of some social media characters. They have like these short little things on their Instagram. They gained like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of viewers. And from there, you can go and gain licensing deals. So like, at my time, it didn't exist really social media. I got here before MySpace. It was, pretty, it was like just about, normal, let's say, web blog, whatever you want to call it. And then, so first of all, so now, but the challenging thing is that now you have your, let's say, TV channel or virtual gallery in hand, but the fact that there is like the competition is really brutal. There is millions and millions of things. So for me, it's always very important, like, to be very innovative. Like, I mean, it's very important to watch other artists, but to mostly like to get like a sort of like spiritual inspiration, like to want to do, but like try to always like not to look them and try to do their style. Just try to do something that's pretty original, because people generally like doesn't work if you are like too similar to somebody that it's already there inspiring you. So originality, then as I was saying, continuously evolve. And then so always change, always add, I think, and to be interesting, to catch the attention of people, and then regarding social media, when you do social media, I think nowadays every time you post, you have to post unfortunately, like, almost like a businessman, like you have to, that you catch the people's attention only for a few seconds, and that second you have to show something that it's relevant, or something that says a lot about your art and about your style and thing. I mean, like, I think that now people follows, I think even Instagram came with the algorithm, because people follows too many people, and if you start to post, okay, today I had a cappuccino, then in the evening I'm having a pizza, and then you post your artwork, you start, I don't think anymore social media can be for that. I think, okay, if you want to post your pizza cappuccino and the selfie, I think you should do your personal and private account, and then I think your social media should be always very interesting for what's your sphere. Of course, you want to become a model, like you do all the selfies, you want, but even those ones should be styled. And and then second, I strongly believe about be always very kind to everybody, because it's at the end that this licensing or business community, it's very small. So it's always humble people. It's always very welcome everywhere, and humble people even tends to want always to improve. And I think it's always, if you feel like too soon, too big, you don't evolve, and it's always the challenge. It's always there, and you're never good enough. So more or less, this one are the things, and then one that I forgot.
So Pooneh, from your end, Simone was a creator because he designs. You are the business mind behind it, getting into all the brand extensions. So 1 minute takeaway from you to the designers in India as to, they have to, what are the thought processes and what they need to think in mind, that whatever they design has to have a brand extension, so the design has to be that universally accepted,
Oh boy. I would just say, to the young designers, that never give up and trust your instincts, trust your gut. And like Simone said, it takes a ton of discipline to succeed. So it's not just an 8-hour job. I mean, it's a lifestyle. So those are the words of wisdom that I have is, keep pushing yourself, keep challenging yourself, figure out new ways to get as much exposure for your art and your talent as you possibly can. I think that's why Simone was really talking about the social media. That's a great way to build awareness around your art and your aesthetic and your unique offering. So that's what I would suggest to young designers and artists.
And another thing that I forgot and I wanted to add, which I experienced is that lots of young artists or young designers or young brands, they try to skip certain steps. Like everything has to grow organic, and you have to become better and better and better until you get to a point that you can start to fly. Because there is some people that just burn some bridges because they try, like, okay, I designed the character, let me contact this brand, or let me contact this other brand or this licensee, and and try like to do the things too fast. It's not that you design one character and you contact Louis Vuitton, or you can ask, there is people like, sometimes they try to do things too fast, and everything takes like, you have to do first steps until like you start to get some market recognition, until you start to see that your thing can work, and then you go to the next step, and then to the next step. Fast, if you're lucky, some very fast thing can happen, but they don't. You don't build a market, you don't build a fan base, and it's not going to work in long term.
Superb. It was such a pleasure to have you guys.
Thank you very much.
So nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rutika, thank you very much for the opportunity and for the interest in talking with us. We are doing our best efforts to bring Tokidoki to India. It's a place where we really would like to share our passion and our positive message.
If you really like a content and you really want to understand more and more about licensing and how licensing happens in other categories of the businesses, please write it in the comment below so that we know as to what kind of product category would you be interested in knowing how the licensing is being done. That's it for today, guys. We'll be back with you with the next episode soon enough. And please like, share, and comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Licensing Corner, and visit our website, licensingcorner.com.